Hello, welcome to new unboxing quick analysis. Today will be a new WLtoys project. This is a Q303. This is a huge model, a 350mm brushed quadcopter. So it's brushed, it's not brushless. And this model is including a one-axis gimbal controlling the camera. You have two types of camera version, 720p like mine today, and you have also an improved version, 1080p. The third version will be available, a pure 5.8 GHz FPV version. That's pretty good in my point of view. So it comes in black edition. I don't think there are other colors available. So what you will find in the box, okay, already opened it. Here is the quadcopter. So as you can see, it's a huge model, okay, pretty important. And what I really like immediately is this kind of plastic, very matte, you know, this kind of very beautiful plastic. Seems to be flexible enough to absorb crash, but hard in the same time. So I think the rigidity is very well tuned. You can notice immediately the size of the prop. They are at least 9 inch, close to 10 inch. I will introduce immediately the first good news. Instead to have like the Cyma X8 G or C system to lock the props, if you can remember, you have to pop up the prop cap, and then to push a small bar. Here, it's like a normal system. You have to unscrew, okay, the prop cap to lock the propeller inside. It's pretty good. It's a 5mm section. Well, I will give the dimension exactly to be more precise. So the shaft section is 3mm, okay, but it's not a completely good news. With my version, I observed that to lock the props, I will install more in front. Usually, if your motor is spinning clockwise, you have to lock your prop cap counterclockwise. Here, unfortunately, it's the same sense that the rotation of motor. I guess in the first batch of the Q303, the employees mixed between this shaft with this one. So I think it will be solved soon in a future batch of the Q303. So it means that if you are in the same case than me, okay, that means that you have to tighten your prop cap in the same sense that the motor is rotated. You have to be sure to very well tighten your prop locks to be sure that one prop won't be pop off in mid-flight, okay? Here is the camera system. As you can see, you have very nice dampening balls, so it seems to be pretty efficient. I reviewed some time ago the Kayden Key 70. The dampening ball was, for me, not really adapted. Here seems to be more okay. I hope it will absorb more jellos or extra vibration. You have the one-axis gimbal camera, okay? So you can control, thanks to the radio transmitters, this one. And more, it's auto-stabilized. It means that as soon as you will have a pitch, a positive angle, your gimbal will apply a negative pitch to compensate, and vice versa, okay? So two main features, it's auto-stabilized, okay, try to targeting the horizontal line, and second point, you can also tune the orientation thanks to the radio. That's pretty cool. You have the micro SD card slot here, and come a 4 GB micro SD. It's always good. With the 720p version, you have, as you can see, even it's written you have a field of view of 150 degrees. It's absolutely false. You have a very limited one. You have something like 70, 80 degrees. And the lens size mount is pretty narrow. I can measure with the caliper. It's something like M5.5 mount size. So it's pretty small. I hope one day there will be a compatible wide lens format for such type of lens mount. Containing the connection, it's pretty easy. You have to connect the main camera to the camera port here, and the last one with the 3 cable only, completely on the right, is the servo to control the tilt orientation. What I really like here, you have a strong LEDs. You will show as soon as I will turn on the quadcopter. You have to know that, like the Cyma and many models, it's possible to change more or less fast the motors without disassembling everything. So you just need to unscrew 2 screws to remove this motor pod, motor cap, and in the other side you will have also to unscrew this one to access, to remove the 2 motors thanks to these 2 screws on the upper side. You have a small connectors attaching the motor. It's a big model. It's 2 centimeters in the larger dimension and 16 millimeters on the inner one. The prop landing gears directly fit install when you will receive your machine, so a lot of job to do to immediately fly. Okay, let's have a focus on the battery compartment. It's actually empty, and you will insert this battery. It's a 2S LiPo batteries. As you can see, you have a kind of battery mount, and is not a classic connector. It's a proprietary one, 3 pins. But you have to know that one of them is the ground and the external one is the positive. It means that with this battery you will have a specific charger. Here is. So you have just 2 clips like this, okay, and then to connect to your wall socket the power unit. I think it will be very easy to modify this charger to use your normal charger, an Emax, whatever you want. So no power switch present. It means that when you will enter the battery, so when the pin is more on the upper position, you can gently slide it. You have to push it, and when you press it, it will turn on. To release the battery, you have to push this button, and you will release also the battery. Okay. So as soon as you will turn on it, you will have these LEDs flashing. Okay, and actually the gimbal is not yet powered. You will need to arm the quadcopter through the radio, but you can notice the very strong LEDs, green on front, and a very strong white one on front. Okay, so after a moment, okay, now it's powered, and you can see the auto stabilization of the camera working efficiently. So as I said, you can also control the angle through your radio. Okay, so I really like the LEDs, very visible for night flying. That's a great point. So we'll turn off the quadcopter by releasing the battery. I regret the presence of a proprietary battery, but I think it will be very easy to mod this compartment to install and to connect to a real battery charger. What is coming also with, of course, instruction manual, not fantastically done, a kind of copy and paste a lot of different WLtoys instruction manual. Anyway, you have the main setting here. So you have to know that, of course, you have 5 speed mode available, 40, 60, 80, and 100, sorry, 4 only. And you have an headless mode, okay. The headless mode and the return to home is available through this button here, okay. Headless by briefly press on it, return to home by long press on it. You can start the camera recording or off by pressing this button up. The photo here, and the novelty, I would say, a new feature is here. It's the altitude hold. So as soon as you will press this button, it will set the altitude to target to stay, and if you press your throttle upper, this current value, it will climb. Lower this current value, it will decrease. So it's a kind of artificial altitude hold, okay, thanks to the built-in barometers. So this button is to select one of the 4 speed mode. This one is to engage flips like usual. And as I said, you can control the gimbal thanks to the throttle trim. You can decrease or increase the pitch angle through this button here. The radio is pretty good, and a nice originality of the deluxe chassis of the WLtoys model. You can go into mode 2, mode 3, mode 4, and mode 1 thanks to this central button. So here, when it's up, you can go to mode 2 or mode 4, and when it's down, you can tune to mode 1 and mode 3. So whatever the country you are you can fly in your easiest way to practice your sticks. That's very good. You will need 4 AA batteries to feed your transmitter. No trainer port available. It's a good transmitter, okay? And concerning the radio protocol, unfortunately I was not able to bind this quadcopter with any existing protocol and is no more compatible with the V2X2 protocol. It's a new one based on the new variant of the XN297 RF chip, the air version. It's assumed to have a little bit more power, okay, and also have a data rate down to 250 kilobytes by second. It means that when you lower this data rate, you can also extend the range. There are absolutely no incidents in the speed of the control. It's completely transparent for users. So you can expect a better range versus a former radio protocol based on the simple XN297. This Q303 comes also with a set of spare props. They are very huge, okay? And be aware to not lose, you have a tiny spacer when you will remove your prop caps to insert here, so don't lose them. They are very tiny. I will give the dimension in my RC Groups review. And it comes with a set of prop guards, no screws required to install them. Just like the Cyma, you just need to unclip this part and insert the prop guards, just clips it and voila, it's very fast and it takes just a fraction of a second to install it and it's done. So it's pretty easy, pretty efficient, really I like it. So I will give some information about weight because it's of course not a very small and light quadcopter. For example, I will start to give the information of the battery. So it's a proprietary one, but the plastic casing around is not so important. So the first LiPo battery, let me check, I was to 0, it's less than 100 grams, it's 82.7 grams to be more precise. Some dimension, okay, even if it's not standard, but I'm pretty sure you can install very easily a normal LiPo to extend 87, okay, by 33 by 20. Okay, it's a 1500 milliamps power 2S LiPo. It's probably written behind this. No discharge rate mentioned, probably a 20C, 20 or 25. Okay, so no LEDs on it. So let's start with to give the weight with everything. I will use this box to stand up. So I will start on the bottom and stand alone without the battery. It's already 382 grams. Okay. 82, and if I add the batteries, it will go up to 435 grams. So it's relatively light. And be sure that I was to 0. Yes, close to 0. So it's a relatively light quadcopter compared to some other competitors. So it should offer a nice throttle boost, okay, compared to the Kaideng, which is close to 600 grams, so 100 grams more. The motor are the same size than the Kaideng and Cyma, so it should be strong enough. So I will conclude about this quadcopter. Maybe I forgot to mention just a small details. You cannot use some NEMH battery for the transmitter. Only normal alkaline is working. It's a little bit a drawback in my point of view. Okay, let's conclude about this quadcopter. My first analysis about it. Well, what really I like it is the main general quality of this quadcopter. The plastic is very good. I really like the LEDs, very visible. Okay, the gimbal system, the dampening ball, and the one-axis control, I really like it, thanks to this throttle trim. It's pretty cool. And you have also an auto stabilization. I regret definitively, at least for the 720p version, the absence of the wider lens, but it should be possible one day to install it. I strong more to go more for the FPV version immediately. I can say immediately, but if you are looking for a pure AP platform to fly in a lost condition, it should be a nice option, or the 1080p version. I really like the relatively light wow, for 350mm quadcopter size of this model. So the vibration should be more or less absent from the videos, I hope too. And it comes with everything. The transmitter is pretty cool, and I expect that the radio range should be at least from 100-150 meters. The Failsafe is also working, so as soon as you will cut your transmitter, the motor will stop within the 2 first seconds. That's also a pretty good point. I don't have any information about the flying duration time, but I guess around 10 minutes in my first expedition. I will confirm in more outdoor tests. Okay, so it was the first glance analysis of the new Q303 from WLtoys. Very nice packaging. Okay, no weak element in my point of view. I really like also the presence of normal thread to lock your props. That's pretty good, and it means that you can attach if you want some other type of prop, whatever you want. Okay, so please check my incoming outdoors video, and see you next time for another video. See you, bye bye.